The most interesting person in the room is the most interested person in the room. You see, being interesting isn't your problem, even if you aren't the best looking, smartest or funniest person in the room. The difference between you and that guy who everyone seems to want to talk to isn't that he's more interesting than you. He could like tractors, lawn mowing and bird watching for all you know. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. But he's just shifted this one part of his mindset that you haven't yet.
Why is nobody coming to talk to me?
This is how you think when you're put in a new social situation.
It feels like no one cares about me.
Let me clarify, there's nothing wrong with this. It's completely normal for us humans to want to be valued by others. But have you tried to talk to anyone else? Or do you care about meeting new people? If you take a look at that guy again who everyone's interested in, he's thinking,
who can I make new friends with today then?
Now these two mindsets are called an open and closed mindset. So next time you find your mindset closing in a social setting,
use the 1 minute rule.
Set yourself a mental timer and give yourself 1 minute to approach someone new and begin a conversation. Now this works so well as we don't give ourselves any time to overthink and we'll force ourselves to get the courage to go and talk to somebody new. But then comes a new problem.
What on earth do I say to someone to seem interesting?
Introducing the small wins rule. This is a rule that states that you need to try and get a small win within the first 30 seconds of a conversation. This could be trying to find some common ground by using your surroundings.
So have you been to an event like this before? Yeah, I have before, once. Oh, nice. Well, this is my first time here, so I think you looked really friendly and kind, so I wanted to introduce myself.
By making them laugh.
I look friendly? Oh, I'll take it. Thank you.
Or by just using emotion.
So I've got to ask, who inspired you to get into business then and go to events like this conference? Good question. I first got into this from my dad, babe.
The main goal here is to listen to understand, not to respond. Because when you focus on understanding, people can feel your energy, tell you're genuinely interested to get to know them more, which will encourage them to open up even more than you might think. But remember, if you can't find a small win after those 30 seconds, it's more than okay to say,
awesome, well it was absolutely great to meet you. I'm going to continue having a little look around and I might see you later. Take care. No problem.
But the conversation could be going well, and if it is, then the dreaded question will go to you.
So what about you? What do you do? Oh no, I haven't prepared for this.
Well, thankfully, I have. And the answer is simple. Embrace your weirdness. This will make sense in a minute, don't worry. You might not be that interesting because you're using closed responses instead of open responses. It's the same concept as an open and closed mindset. It's just open responses create conversations and a closed response, well, closes conversations. You could like football, for example. It's a pretty normal thing to like. But if you just say,
I like football? Oh, nice.
Then no one's going to find you interesting because you're closing the conversation. So instead, embrace what it is that makes you unique and makes the other person want to ask even more questions.
So I like football freestyling. It's a weird hobby, but I'm trying to get better at it at the moment. Oh, nice. We need a football. Where's a football? I need to see these skills. I would show you if I could. I would, but we don't have a ball.
See how you already sound so much more interesting? But now, imagine if you dive into your weirdness even more.
See, I've had a strange passion for cleaning since I've been a kid.
Cleaning's a boring hobby, right? No, it's not.
If you ever need anything clean, then just let me know. Dude, thank you so much. I mean, who doesn't need their house cleaned or a car cleaned, right?
See how you've just turned a boring topic into an interesting conversation? Well, that's because of one skill.
What, cleaning?
No, it's not cleaning. Storytelling. But how do you actually do this in conversations? Well, notice earlier how I said,
I've had a strange passion for cleaning since I was a kid. Adding a little bit of context at the end of your sentence, since I was a kid, creates a story opening, and that's what you need to start doing. So what got you into cleaning then as a kid?
Story openings will make people want to know more because rather than communicating information,
well, I like cleaning.
You're communicating emotion.
Oh, it's a funny story actually. Me and my dad just used to spend a lot of time on the weekends cleaning. We just spent loads of time together.
And emotion is the key ingredient to a good conversation as it builds trust and connection with the other person. As most people don't usually remember the things you say, but more so how you made them feel. And that's why when we go deep with our mates during car chats, oh god, that sounded horrendous. We want more. Oh god, I'm gonna stop there. That sounds even worse. Anyway, most people will tell you that a good story needs a beginning, middle, and end.
But let's be real, you're talking, you're not writing a bloody book. Nobody in the middle of a conversation is thinking of the start, middle and end.
So instead, start by giving some context.
So I woke up one Sunday and had breakfast.
No, Tom, that's not a story, that's a sentence.
Picture this, it was a Sunday, nobody was about and it was just me walking in a field. And then, I saw a man. And guess what he was holding? What?
Notice how my speaking speed slowed down when I got to the most important bits? The pace of your story not only helps the other person process the information better,
A mop.
but it makes them want so much more.
What was he doing with this mop?
Next, when considering the length of the story, read your environment. If you're in a place where things are moving fast like an event or a bar, it's better to keep your story short, concise, but really fun.
Basically, the man was pressure washing his wife. What the? Yeah, just on the driveway.
However, if you're somewhere that feels more intimate, like a car ride, or a walk, or a garden gathering, this is your chance to go into deeper detail in your conversations.
I'll get to what he was doing with the mop in a moment, but trust me, I was starstruck.
Well done, you've got a new friend shaking his ankles, wanting to hear the most important part of the story.
Right, you ready for this? So I go a little bit closer, and this man has a mop and a pressure washer, and he's pressure washing his wife.
The end, which has to give off some sort of relief for the other person, whether that's emotion, tension, or just humour, just like washing yourself with a pressure washer.
But Tom, what if I have no stories to tell? Well, we all have our own unique stories because we're all completely different to each other. But if you are struggling with your own stories, then this is your sign to start creating this time.
Go outside, be spontaneous, become a kid again, taking random adventures, never knowing what the day has in store for you. Say yes to more things, socialise more. Memories and stories are all we have in this world, so stop overthinking and start creating. Life's way too short to waste another second. Thank you.